To reorient you, this big patch in the front and this second little cartilage here, this area here is the larynx. The top portion here is the thyroid cartilage. This next ring right underneath that is the cricoid cartilage. Then these small consecutive rings that you see going down are the cartilage for the trachea. Now this will remain the trachea all the way until here, until this last little ring. At this point it splits into a left and a right primary bronchi. Alright? We don't go into further organization other than that. I don't know why, but if we were to go further out, you would have secondary bronchi. See, it splits again. We have tertiary bronchi and so on. Alright, until we get into bronchioles. We don't go that far down in the organization. I'm just explaining that because you need to remember to say primary when you write this on the exam. And remember, you have to say left and right, so left primary bronchi, right primary bronchi. Alright, so with this model you can see on either side we have the lungs. In this model, just to orient you, this is just showing the back side or the posterior side and the anterior side of the same lung, so there aren't like 4 pieces of lung that they pulled off. It's the same piece, they're just showing you front and back on either side. So this just fits on right there, this fits on right there. Those are the lungs. Now if you look, you can see that there are actually lobes. Here's one area, or one crease breaking up these 2 lobes. Another one down here, and we're on the right side here just to orient you. Now, if you notice on the left lung, there's only 1 crease. You actually have 3 lobes on your right lung, but only 2 on your left lung. So actually lungs are quite unsymmetrical. On the right lobe, the right lung, the lobes are named superior, middle, and inferior, so pretty basic, right? The one on top is superior, the one in the middle is the middle, the one on the bottom is inferior. And again, you can see here, just look for those crease lines, superior, middle, inferior, same on the actual surface of the lung, okay? And for this one, since there is no middle, we just have a superior and an inferior, all right? Now, I'm going to jump back up to the cardiac notch and the pulmonary artery and vein. I didn't realize I missed those. Now, the cardiac notch actually refers to these spots in the left lung where the apex of the heart rests. So if you look on this lung right here, there's this little concavity right here. If we look at the anterior side, can you guys all see this groove? That's the cardiac notch. Okay, so we would put it in the actual crevice. We put a sticker right here. And the cardiac notch. Okay, so now for the pulmonary arteries and veins, remember that every single time we're talking about lungs or pulmonary systems, what's an artery and what's a vein is going to intuitively switch. Because remember that the colors of the vessels refer to whether the blood is oxygenated or deoxygenated. However, whether it's called an artery or a vein is determined by whether it's carrying blood from the heart or to the heart. Alright, so in the pulmonary system, that relationship flips because it's getting oxygenated. So if we look in the area of the left lung where we actually have vessels, all of these red vessels would be what? Veins. Good. So this is a pulmonary vein. And what about our blue ones? The blue ones are the arteries. Good. So here's a pulmonary artery. So remember that it's switched. Okay, and then the last structure for the demo is the diaphragm. The diaphragm is just the muscle layer that sits just below the lungs and is responsible for basically being the breaking point between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. So it's just this layer of muscle right here. All right. Any questions for the respiratory system? Great, sounds good. So